Some suction. Glove could be good.
Yeah, large.
Everybody to Blackacre Ranch. So for those of you who are new to the channel or haven't kind of watched us before, or maybe watched the last episode, we're on 187 acres, first generation ranch, trying to do this stuff. We live in the big city and come out here on the weekends and are trying to build this thing. So it's an adventure, but we don't always know what we're doing. So I don't hide a lot. Like if there's something I'm frustrated about, you know it. So if you watched the last episode, where we were going to use our Danuser front end loader auger. You saw the frustration when you try and get stuff and nothing works. So, you know, we're actually going to show you a little bit about that in the future. But we are right now sitting on our property, and what we're doing is we're making this just a small little pasture that's right next to one of our big ones. We are expecting buffalo within a month. And we're just kind of doing a small containment area that's right next door to our bigger pasture so we can let them out and go into there. So this will eventually turn into the pre-sort, post-sort, and the chute. So this is going to be beefed up a lot. So we're going to be putting wood posts every 8 feet, so forth like that. If you notice from the video that you were just watching, we made some mistakes. When the posts were put in, it looked really bad. I have a barbed wire line that goes straight, and you can see where the holes for the posts were. So this was pushed back. The other one, the barbed wire is now on the left hand side, same as this one. And then look what happens when you get to here. The barbed wire is way on the other side. So as you can tell, the fence kind of went all squampus. So we just had to pull those out, and that's what you saw. Now, it's not normal. These things go in about 3.5 feet at least. This is really sandy soil. So when we were doing this, it wasn't my intention to ram it with a tractor and loosen it up, but we were all set to tie it up and try and lift them out so we can reset them. And I accidentally bumped it, and it wiggled enough that if we did a little bit more, we could start pulling them out. So that's what we did. Or I'm just that strong. Yeah, my wife laughed at me. So anyway, let's show you the tool, the Danuser. And this is I'm hoping a really great tool. So here it is. So this is the Danuser EP, looks like 615. So anyway, 15 gallons per minute, I think is the flow rate. I think that's how they got it. Now I don't have all the specs. All right, if you want to look at all the specs about what it is, go look it up online. I'll put down below the web address of where you can look at all that. So I'm not going to go into all that, but this is the front mounted auger. Now you'll have options for all of my non-tractor rancher folk. As of like 8 months ago, you have options. Most of the popular one, and the most common you'll see, is a 3-point hitch attached auger. Those run off the PTO, which is just a drive line that goes out the rear. You attach to it, you turn it on, and it goes and it spins, and through some gearboxes it drills into the ground. Your 3-point hitch will lower it, of course, sink it in the ground, and then you lift it back out. Some of the reasons that those aren't always the best is that the PTO only drives one direction. So once you get it down, and if it gets down too far, it suctions in there and you haven't cleared it out as you've been doing it, it can really suck itself down and you can't reverse the spin to just wiggle it right out. So you're having to sometimes even pry it out with a bar. But also we have a lot of hills, and when you're on there, if your tractor's tipped, so's your 3-point. And so it didn't maybe allow all the versatility I wanted. So I got this, and this has double pivot, so I can move to the side, I can move it forward, I can do whatever. It's also on the front end loader, so I can lift it out of the ground, and I have dual remotes up front. So these hydraulics allow it to spin one direction and spin the other direction. These work off the the third function valve. So on a tractor, typically you have some connection points for some hydraulics, and this is just like a movable hydraulic machine. That's how the front end works. When I got the tractor, I added front end remotes or front remotes, third functions, just extra hydraulic connection hoses. On the back, I added a bunch more hydraulic hoses because I knew I wanted to operate something like this or that grapple, which allows me to do those functions. So if you haven't seen the videos on some of those grapples, check them out. That grapple's a beast. So if you're gonna get a tractor, get a third function remote or a third remote up front and get some extras in the back. That would be what I would suggest. So anyway, this is it. It has a distance from bottom to top, a little over, I think 4 feet. I think it was a little over 4 feet. So this is gonna go down further than that gas powered one. So anyway, enough of me talking, all right? I'm done. I wanna see this in action. I haven't drilled with it yet, so hopefully this goes good. But we're gonna start with this line here, and we're gonna fix the holes that we've got, and we're gonna push it down and pull it up. I'm really hoping this works well. So anyway, stay tuned and check it out. So I have to say, besides the fact I was sitting in the tractor, that was awesome. Okay, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. 13? I counted 14.
9 plus 4.
14 in probably a half hour. So now all it is just set the posts. And we'll see how long that takes. But that's 13 holes, 14. And they're down. And so Chica, as we were drilling all these things, she was going back over and digging down, making sure they're at least 42. She said sometimes we even had to put more dirt in. So these last ones, they started going a little bit squampus. So one thing I did notice was this will spin, and if I spin it, you get to a point where you'll see that it'll suction down. It'll suction off the pressure on top, and you'll see it starting to suck. So every once in a while we want to pull up, and they were cleaning everything off. But other times it starts to curve one way or the other. And some of that you can help with this, if it's a curve forward and back, because when we raise this up, it kicks this out further or it moves it back. So by just moving the up and down function, you're able to kind of do some forward back. But when it goes side to side, that was difficult. Part of it is I think sometimes the tractor was a little squampus, but it's a hill, that's what you do. So now it's to the posts.
these last posts. Come along our line. And Daddy's getting the auger ready. We're gonna drill these last holes and we'll have this whole line done today.
So we just finished these last posts, or the drilling, and they have a lot of clay. And it was really kind of hard to deal with. But the rest of the posts didn't seem to have a lot. So this is, I guess, where it's sitting. But oh my word, I'm so glad we have that auger. So this would have been a nightmare to dig. So anyway, more posts.
I forgot the song, but I know the song. I remember it, I just don't remember the words.
I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee.
Okay, but
Ow!
It stung me. I'm squishing up my baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? I'm squishing up my baby bumblebee.
it's all over me.
I'm licking up my baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? I'm licking up my baby bumblebee. I don't feel so good. I'm throwing up my baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? I'm throwing up my baby bumblebee.
I think we can stop there.
Yeah, we don't need to mop it up now. By the ranch, that's like organic pasture food.
It's fertilizer.
All right, we finished, guys. I'm trying to calculate how much it is. We just did another 7 posts and I think dug 5 holes, and it was like an hour, just over an hour. So total, we've probably spent, gosh, about 3 hours on it, 2.5. So about 2.5 hours, 105 minutes and 65 minutes. So that's 170 minutes. So about 3 hours. And we got, I don't know, 20 to 25 posts and about 15 to 20, or probably actually about 20 holes. So amazing progress, guys. This was great. So this is the part, guys, you look down the line and that's the satisfaction of knowing I'm done, all right? It's not perfect because none of us are.
Sorry.
She's not meaning anything by that, right? If you notice in the distance, there's a post that has an electrical box on it. That was originally here, and it's getting power from somewhere. I don't know where, but I wanted to keep it. And when we originally did this, we were gonna have a gate right here to this pasture, and that's hence also why we have a gate sitting here. Let's check out the other post.
Okay.
This is was gonna be the other corner post for the line down here. I'm not gonna use it. We just did it, no gate. So this post is in amongst all this other clay. It's gonna stay there, I don't care. It's 15 bucks. But that's why we had the electrical box, is I moved that post over enough to get around the electrical. So anyway, we can still open the electrical. We're gonna run wire eventually, and we're gonna keep continuing on all the way around. More to do. That's a lot of good posts, dude.
Looks good, babe. Good job, honey.
All right, guys, round 2. Day number 2, we're back, and we're gonna try and finish up the rest of this. So it's much more of the same, although don't let that worry you. There is gonna be some other stuff. But I got a new crew with me. My brother came with his son, Owen. So we're gonna crank this out. I still got Dog and Chica with me, and we're gonna continue this line and get moving. But stay with us. Today is supposed to be warmer than it was last time, but man, there's a wind coming, and that wind is cold. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. So let's get this thing cracking and get out of here. Okay guys, we got all of our holes dug on this side, and some things I noticed that, I don't know if I've explained this yesterday. When we're drilling down, there's that slop that's in the linkage, and so it'll kind of have a little bit of play. So if I was to just push it down, it would take up all that slack, and then the arms are actively really pushing down. When that happens, you know, you're pushing. You can do that. There's also the method where once it gets in there, it's going to want to start sucking itself in. And so there's a spot between which it wants to suck down, and the linkage, I can see it, where it kind of sucks down, and then if I push further, it then collapses back up, and I'm pushing actively with the arms. So between the sucking and the pushing, I don't know if there's a balance to that, and if that influences how it's curving a little bit. But going through those, we are on a little bit of hill. I don't know if that should make a difference, but it does curve just a little bit. So I will work on my sucking and pushing and see how well I do on the next set when we get there. Now it's time to put all these posts in. We've gone through and done about another 10 of these things, and just wanted to kind of go over a little bit of the process. You can see from here we're relatively straight, and the trick about this is just getting it a straight line. As you can see, we ran this barbed wire between the corner posts, and it's our general guide. When we're coming through here, we look to see where our hole is. Now that we've already got the hole, we make sure we have enough room, and we're having to shave some of these sides. We're checking our depth, making sure everything looks good while this is sitting here, and we know we have enough room. I'll grab the post, drop it down, and then make sure it all looks about the same on top. But then it's a matter of leveling it, making sure we're right, and it's up against here. It could be level but be too far back. It could be level or too far forward. So you just find its correct level this far, and then make sure you're level here, and then we start filling it in. Tamp, fill in, tamp, and do it 3 or 4 times, and then we stomp on it. But this is a pretty straight fence. It's not perfect, but it's pretty straight. So that's just a general process. It's just rudimentary. Check your levels. Once we start tamping and filling in, we move the line away. So anyway, we're gonna finish up the rest of the 6 or 5 that we've got here and start over again. All right guys, we're gonna call it good right here. We have successfully finished the entire perimeter. So we didn't catch some additional footage because we're just pounding away and trying to get this done before the sun heads down. But I think this Danuser EP615, oh my gosh, that is a great tool. So, you know, this is really kind of sandy soil, like I said, so it was really easy digging. This last stretch of 12 we had this stretch, and the one before that was another 12, and we had, I think 25 was total count on the far side. So we were able to get a bunch done. I don't know how many posts that was, 12, 24 plus 17, 41, and we kept a pretty good pace too. So hey, but anyway, enough talking. But yes, it was a lot better to be able to drive up to a spot easily marked, just put the thing in and drill it. It was also nice to have the control to roll it, so as you're going in, it's gonna arc down and start pulling away, and that causes it to slide under, and you could lift up and articulate, and it would straighten it back out. It was really simple to use. So again, we had sandy soil, it was nice, but you know, this would not have been done as easy with a rear 3-point mounted auger. So it's worth the investment. We're done, and now what we're gonna do is do all the H braces and get all the wires put all the way around, and then we'll be ready, except water, you know, food, stuff like that, but that'll be a lot easier. So hey, thanks for joining us. Always click subscribe, hit the like button, you know, it's free. I don't know why there's people out there that look at something and they just hit down, like dislike just for it. You know, if you don't like it, don't watch. You know, frankly, that's what it is. But we're here, we're trying to build all this stuff up from scratch, newbies. We are not expert ranchers and farmers, but if you're gonna see frustration from people, I'll tell you my frustrations and you'll see it. So it's real life junk, and we're just trying to make a go of it and seeing how it goes. So keep with us. Join us next time as we do all the rest of the fencing and kind of how the barbed wire works and our thoughts about that. So anyway, love the tool, highly recommend it. It is more expensive though, but I think it's worth it in the long run. because I have miles of fence to do. So catch you later. Bye. While I'm editing this video, I wanted to provide an update. So after we posted last week's video about Danuser and the fact that we had no fasteners, that Monday morning, first thing in the morning, I got a message via Facebook from Danuser, and they reached out asking, hey, did you get everything sorted out? Just asking, hey, what was the issue, and wanting to kind of address it. Their main concern was they wanted to make sure first that I was okay, that got everything taken care of, but also to make sure that they address any issues of why there wouldn't be fasteners, what was the condition when it was shipped, things of that nature. So the message came from, Mr. Danuser, so I'm assuming he's probably the owner. They do track their social media and some other things. And I just thought that was really cool, that they reached out. So, I mean, we've had, now that we've been using it, nothing but positive things. I'm super happy with it. And I just wanted to kind of mention that to you guys, just letting you know that they did reach out, wanting to make sure everything was okay. So, we all make mistakes. There's always complications and everything, but, I'm just glad that he did that, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So, that it isn't somebody that's just not paying attention. So they did a good job. So anyway, all's good. Appreciative of the company, impressed with it, and yeah, that's it.